Advisor's Assistant's insurance commission tracking will help ensure that you're being paid the correct commissions on your book of business and make it easy for agencies to pay commissions to their producers and managers. Let's take a quick tour of the commission module, and you'll see how our years of experience in commission tracking software and feedback from our users has produced the best commission software for any producer or agency. Since insurance companies pay commissions in many different ways, the first place to start is in setting up your commission rate tables. Rate tables only have to be entered once, and then all of the policies that would use that set of rates will automatically reference the rate table that's been set up. You can even assign a rate table to a coverage plan, so anytime that coverage is added to a client, Advisor's Assistant will already know which commission rates to use. You don't have to enter commission rates every time you add a policy, and that's a big time saver. I've opened a simple rate table for a universal life product. We can see on the left all of the various levels of commissions you can track with Advisor's Assistant. Of course, you probably would not use all of the levels, but the flexibility is there should you need it. If you pay all of your producers and managers the same commission rates, you only have to set up the main default rate tables. But that's often not the case. So with Advisor's Assistant, you have the flexibility to add custom rates for producers and managers. There's no limit to the number of rate tables you can have for your producers and managers. The first page we're viewing is for standard premium-based commissions. The table is like a spreadsheet with 20 years of rates that can be stored for renewal commissions. When a policy is older than 20 years, the rate in the 20th year is used. Once the rates level out, just use the Fill Down button so you don't have to fill in all 20 years yourself. Advisor's Assistant will track base premium commissions as well as 2 override levels, and the other sections will store rates for excess and excess 2 commissions, a second level of excess premiums. If the company is advancing any first-year commissions, you can list how many months are being advanced. There are many columns, but the important thing to remember is that if they don't apply to your commission setup, you just ignore them. If you don't have a second level of override or excess premiums, just ignore the entire column. This first page is for tracking standard premium-based commissions. Advisor's Assistant will also track fixed amount commissions, such as for Medicare, and group commissions that are paid as dollars per member. And if you have a policy paying trailer commissions, the trailer rate table will calculate the commission based on the cash value of the policy and the basis points entered. So far, we focused on the agency level commissions. I can click on any other level on the left and view the commission rates that have been entered for the other levels. You can track up to 6 different levels of commissions. And when entering policies, you can split the commissions on each coverage among up to 4 different producers. Of course, there's no limit to the number of producers you can track in your agency. While agency commissions are always paid as a % of premium, when you're entering producer or manager commissions, you can tell Advisor's Assistant whether the commission is being paid as a % of premium or a % of agency commissions. In the case of a manager, it can even be a % of his producer's commissions. And even if the company is paying the producers directly, the agency can still track how much commission the producer is being paid. As you can see, each commission rate table set can actually store an unlimited number of rates for a great amount of flexibility. So if you're recruiting a new producer and need to set them up with a special commission strategy, you don't have to worry about any arbitrary limits on the number of different rate strategies in your commission system. This Options button allows you to track even more scenarios with your commissions. If your company is paying expense overrides or other types of commissions, you can tell Advisor's Assistant whether those commissions are combined with the base commission or if they should be separated into their own transactions for posting. If the company pays them separately, Advisor's Assistant can show them separately. If the company combines them, Advisor's Assistant will combine them. This helps you post faster to balance the Advisor's Assistant transactions with what your company paid. You can also account for non-commissionable amounts, such as policy fees. And if you sell policies to teachers, you can set a payment frequency of 26 times a year, and even set up blackout date ranges when commissions should not be calculated to accommodate summer breaks. Advisor's Assistant also provides a time-saving copy button for when sets of rate tables are very similar with just minor differences. You can copy an existing set of tables and then just make the small changes. Once you have your rate tables set up, Advisor's Assistant uses the information in the individual policies, such as modal premiums and cash values, to calculate the commissions due each month or other payment frequency selected by you. The calculation process is very simple. And basically, the software does all of the work. You just tell Advisor's Assistant which months to calculate. You can even calculate into the future for income projections. Once the transactions have been calculated, you can view the transaction details through the View Policy screens. I'll double-click on this disability policy to show the list of commission transactions that have been calculated. We can see past months that have been calculated and what has already been posted as being paid. We can also see the transactions that are still unpaid. If there's any question about how the commissions were calculated, the information is at your fingertips. I'll double-click on one transaction so we can see all of the details of what has been calculated by Advisor's Assistant. First, the agency commissions are listed, both the base and override. Then we can see that there are two producers splitting this policy with a 60-40 split. A manager is also being paid a commission, and at the bottom of the screen we can see how much the agency will net with this transaction. We can also see in the comments that this particular policy has a $5 non-commissionable amount, which means $5 was deducted from the modal premium before the commission was calculated. Back on the view screen, let's take a look at the posting process. When you receive your check from the company each month, you'll go into the posting process to post the commissions that have been paid. I'm going to post unpaid commissions from the month of January, and I'm just going to post for one company. After I enter my selection criteria so that I get the exact commissions that are covered on the company's transmittal statement, I'll just enter a statement date that serves as a reference back to the transmittal statement from my company. Now the posting screen has opened with all of the commissions due from the company for the period I specified. You can click on any of the column titles to sort the information by that column, and you can resize any of the columns to see more information on the screen. I just compare each transaction to the company's transmittal statement, and if the commission paid matches what was calculated by Advisor's Assistant, I can press the Home key or the Pay in Full button to post that the commission has been paid. If the amount calculated by Advisor's Assistant is different than the amount paid by the company, I can tell Advisor's Assistant either that the company paid the correct amount and adjust the premium or the commission rate, or I can have Advisor's Assistant create a remainder commission to show the company still owes me money. The remainder transactions will stay in your database until the company pays that missing amount. When you're finished posting, you can print a report showing the commissions that were due but were not paid, so you can follow up with the company. And when you post a transaction as paid, Advisor's Assistant automatically posts the producer and manager commissions as paid. So just pressing the home key takes care of the agency level, producers and splits, and manager commissions. Once you've posted the commissions that have been paid, you can run a variety of reports with Advisor's Assistant. There are three main types of commission reports. The agency-oriented distribution reports will list the transactions to show you what has been paid and what is still due, so you can notify the company. The transmittal statements are designed to be given to your producers and managers with the check from the agency, so they know what commissions have been paid. And the agency net reports do just that. They report on how much commission has been distributed to producers and managers and how much the agency nets from each policy. Let's take a look at a transmittal statement. I'll run this for transactions that were posted in the month of February. And because I'm running a transmittal statement, I just want to look at all of the commission levels except for the agency. Once the data is selected, I can then run a transmittal report from the reports that are offered by Advisor's Assistant. Each producer or manager will get their own report with their name and address positioned so you can use a number 10 window envelope and avoid having to use labels. The commissions paid are separated by producer or manager commissions, and the total the agency pays is highlighted. With the simple posting process and the many reports available, Advisor's Assistant makes the tedious task of tracking commissions easy. And as you can see, the Advisor's Assistant Commission module will not only ensure that you're being paid for all of the policies, it also makes it easy for agencies to pay commissions to their producers and managers. Producers call us all the time to tell us they've found thousands of dollars of missing commissions that their companies haven't paid. If you're tired of calculating commissions with spreadsheets or programs that force you to type in premium amounts or policy numbers, Advisor's Assistant will save you thousands of mouse clicks and keystrokes. It can free up valuable time to apply to sales or customer service. Call 800-799-4267 now to learn more about how Advisor's Assistant can help you increase sales and make sure you're being paid the correct commissions. See for yourself why Advisor's Assistant has been the #1 choice of financial service professionals for over 2 decades.